Heinz might be a household name, but what's inside their apple cider vinegar bottle tells a different story. One that starts with artificial flavor and ends with a sterile, lifeless product. Instead of the cloudy, living liquid that supports gut health and digestion, what you get is distilled white vinegar disguised as ACV, missing the very essence that gives real vinegar its benefits. If you're tired of being lied to, if you're ready to expose the truth they don't want you to know, then don't just watch. Join this fight. Hit subscribe right now so you never miss the facts the corporations hope you'll ignore. Every new video pulls back the curtain a little more, and together we're building a movement they can't silence. Subscribe, stay informed, and let's take back control, one truth at a time. This isn't just about taste, it's about the quiet stripping away of everything that makes apple cider vinegar worth drinking in the first place. Filtered, pasteurized, emptied of enzymes, probiotics, and the mother. It's a pattern repeated by brands like Great Value, Kroger, American Garden, and White House, each trading time and tradition for shortcuts and shelf life. What separates a bottle that heals from one that just stings is patience, and producers like Bragg and Fairchilds know it. These brands don't just avoid shortcuts, they preserve every ounce of what makes ACV a living food, unfiltered fermentation, cloudy with the mother, and crafted with transparency. While others sell the illusion of health, these two deliver the real thing, proving that authentic vinegar doesn't just taste different, it acts different. Because when it comes to ACV, real quality isn't found in big-name branding, it's in the bottle, where time, tradition, and integrity still matter. Apple cider vinegar has earned its spot in kitchen cabinets and wellness routines across the globe. But what most people don't realize is that not all apple cider vinegar is created equal. The bottle might say apple cider vinegar, but behind that label could be a sterile, highly processed, nutritionally empty product. And worse, many of the biggest, most recognizable brands are the worst offenders. Let's be clear about what real apple cider vinegar is supposed to be. It should be raw. It should be unfiltered, and it absolutely must contain the mother, a cloudy web of enzymes and probiotics formed through slow, natural fermentation. This isn't just a visual, it's the lifeblood of what makes apple cider vinegar so effective for digestion, gut health, and gentle detoxification. Strip that out, and all you're left with is a lifeless acid pretending to be health food. So let's talk about the 5 apple cider vinegar brands you should avoid at all costs. First up, Heinz. This brand markets itself with the kind of friendly packaging and labeling that consumers trust, but peel back the layers and you'll find a product that's anything but natural. Heinz uses distilled white vinegar infused with artificial flavoring to simulate the taste of apple cider vinegar. That means no natural fermentation, no enzymes, no probiotics, no mother. Just chemically processed acid with apple flavoring. It might be safe, but it's entirely sterile. If you're buying ACV for your health, this is not it. Next, Great Value. As Walmart's in-house brand, Great Value's apple cider vinegar follows the same trend: cheap, heavily processed, and aggressively filtered. It's pasteurized for long shelf life, which wipes out any living enzymes or beneficial bacteria. What you're left with is a clear, clean-looking vinegar that's more suited for cleaning your windows than supporting your health. The label may be familiar and the price tempting, but the nutritional value is practically non-existent. Kroger's store brand vinegar is no better. It's another clear filtered liquid with no sign of the mother and no evidence of traditional fermentation. Mass-produced, it blends concentrates, uses rapid fermentation shortcuts, and undergoes heavy filtration. Again, the result is shelf-stable but nutritionally hollow. It's vinegar that's dead on arrival. Then there's American Garden. This brand claims to offer authentic apple cider vinegar, but don't be fooled. Their vinegar is pasteurized and filtered into a crystal-clear liquid. That means everything that's supposed to make vinegar healthy, the enzymes, the probiotics, the subtle warmth that comes from natural fermentation, is stripped out. What's left is just acid in a bottle. It won't help your gut. It won't support digestion. It's vinegar in name only. And finally, White House. This one stings because it trades on nostalgia. The branding leans heavily on tradition, evoking images of family farms and wholesome values. But the truth is, White House's apple cider vinegar is yet another industrialized product. It's filtered, pasteurized and manufactured for mass appeal. Whatever roots it had in genuine vinegar making have long been compromised by the demands of scale and shelf life. It might look the part, but it no longer plays it. These 5 brands all follow the same playbook: filtration, pasteurization, and industrial efficiency, and what they produce are sterile vinegars that are great for cleaning drains, but useless for your gut. The cloudiness is gone, the mother is gone, the life is gone. Sure, they're technically vinegar, but they're completely divorced from the traditional processes that made apple cider vinegar such a powerful tool in natural wellness. So where do you turn if you actually want quality? What if you want vinegar that still contains the life, flavor, and integrity of real apple cider vinegar? There are 2 brands that stand out. The first is Bragg. Bragg has become almost synonymous with real apple cider vinegar for a reason. It's raw, it's unfiltered, it's packed with the mother, and it's made using traditional fermentation methods that take time, weeks, not days. That patience pays off. You get a complex, slightly fruity flavor. You get beneficial enzymes and bacteria that support digestion and gut health. And you get transparency in production. No shortcuts, no pasteurization, no dilution with concentrate. Bragg isn't the cheapest, and that's the point. Quality takes time, and Bragg respects that. The second brand worth mentioning is Fairchild's. This is a smaller producer that focuses on American-grown, organic apples. They press and ferment locally, and they don't mess with the process. No filtration, no artificial flavoring, no pasteurization, just slow, natural fermentation and minimal interference. The result? A cloudy, potent vinegar with a natural aroma and taste that reflects real apples, not synthetic stand-ins. Fairchild's is committed to the craft. They're transparent about their sourcing and methods, and it shows in the final product. Yes, it costs more, but that price tag reflects honesty, quality, and tradition. So what makes these 2 brands different? First, they don't chase speed. Most industrial vinegars are made in days. Bragg and Fairchild's let fermentation happen at its natural pace. That gives the mother time to develop and gives the vinegar its depth of flavor. Second, they don't filter out the good stuff. The cloudiness in raw vinegar isn't impurity. It's the very thing that gives it its health benefits. Filtering it out for the sake of appearance makes the product prettier, not better. Third, they're not sourcing concentrate from multiple countries just to hit volume. Both brands work with apples grown in the US. They press them fresh, they ferment them locally, they keep the process as simple and clean as possible. And finally, they don't insult the intelligence of consumers with fake heritage branding or deceptive labels. They don't call clear filtered vinegar natural or with the mother when it's clearly not. They show you what's in the bottle, and it speaks for itself. Choosing real apple cider vinegar isn't just about gut health or flavor, it's about values. It's about rejecting industrial shortcuts in favor of tradition. It's about choosing companies that care more about process than profits. And it's about recognizing that cloudy vinegar is a sign of life, not something to fear. Yes, brands like Heinz, Great Value, Kroger, American Garden, and White House are cheaper, but what are you actually buying? A bottle of sterilized acid that's been stripped of everything that makes apple cider vinegar worth drinking in the first place. If you care about quality, if you want a product that actually supports your health instead of just pretending to, skip the mass market junk. Look for words like raw, unfiltered, and with the mother, and don't be afraid of a cloudy bottle. Embrace it. That cloudiness means your vinegar is alive. It means the fermentation was real, and it means you're actually getting what you paid for. Bragg and Fairchild's aren't perfect, but they're honest. They're rooted in tradition, and they don't cut corners. In a world where more and more food is stripped of its natural quality in the name of convenience and shelf life, these 2 brands are holding the line. They're proof that food can still be made the right way, slowly, locally, and with integrity. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, share this with someone who still buys the clear stuff, and drop a comment below telling us which brand you trust. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into what's really in your food. Let's be brutally honest, most of the apple cider vinegar on supermarket shelves today is a scam, not in the illegal sense, but in the nutritional consumer deceiving. value stripping sense. When you pick up a bottle of what's supposed to be one of the most time-honored natural remedies, you expect it to actually be real. You expect fermentation, you expect the mother, you expect cloudy living liquid, but instead, what you often get is a polished, pasteurized, soulless product that's been stripped of everything that once made it healthy. The tragedy is, it didn't start out this way. Apple cider vinegar was once a staple of homes and farms, created in small batches from local apples, fermented slowly, and used with respect for its natural qualities. But then mass production took over, shelf stability became the goal, uniform appearance became the priority, and in that race to industrialize, manufacturers took something vibrant and alive and turned it into clear dead liquid. Let's go back to those 5 brands, because they didn't just remove the mother, they removed the meaning behind apple cider vinegar. Heinz is the poster child of deception. They market apple cider vinegar that isn't even made from apples in the traditional sense. It's distilled white vinegar, infused with apple flavoring. That's not cider, that's not fermentation. That's a chemistry lab experiment, bottled to taste vaguely familiar. There's no complexity, no beneficial bacteria, no warmth from real fermentation, just harsh acid. You might as well be drinking cleaning solution. Great Value does exactly what the name suggests, cuts every corner in the name of cost. Sure, it's cheap, but what are you saving money on? You're buying a filtered, pasteurized vinegar that offers 0 health benefits. It's not a digestive aid, it's not gut-friendly, it's not even made with the intention of being nutritionally useful. It's vinegar made to sit on a shelf for years without changing color or growing anything, and that should tell you everything. Kroger's brand follows suit. You'll notice the same crystal clear appearance, the absence of the mother, and the lack of any transparency. Where are the apples sourced from? Are they fresh? Are they even American grown? Good luck finding answers. It's a volume-driven product, built to move fast and blend in on the shelf. It's not a wellness tool, it's a placeholder. American Garden is no different. It's a global brand that plays to scale over substance, filtered, pasteurized, sterile, and while it might technically meet the legal definition of vinegar, it fails entirely to meet the nutritional or traditional expectations. It's not nourishing, it's not holistic, it's just acidic liquid masquerading as something beneficial. And then there's White House. This one hits harder because it wraps itself in Americana, legacy, and trust. But behind that branding lies the same industrial process. It's filtered, it's pasteurized, and it's mass-produced. The brand may have started with real roots in American vinegar making, but those roots have been paved over by production quotas and shelf life demands. Don't let the homey label fool you. The product has moved on from its origins. So where does this leave the everyday consumer? Most people just don't know what to look for. They see a bottle that says apple cider vinegar, and they assume it's good for them. The marketing does its job, the price feels right, and the liquid is clear, so it must be clean. Right, wrong, that clarity is the problem. It's the sign that the vinegar has been filtered, stripped, sterilized, and robbed of its The absence of the mother means there's no live culture, no enzymes, no probiotics, no digestion support. You're not buying nourishment, you're buying marketing. The truth is, when it comes to apple cider vinegar, cloudy is better. That murkiness floating in the bottle, that's the sign of slow fermentation. It's the living web of beneficial bacteria and enzymes that make apple cider vinegar the health powerhouse it's known to be. It might not look pretty to the untrained eye, but it's real, it's raw, and it works. This is where Bragg and Fairchilds come in. These 2 brands are doing it right, not because it's trendy, but because it's how vinegar is supposed to be made. Bragg's has been around for generations, and they've never wavered. They don't filter out the good stuff to make it look clean. They don't pasteurize to extend shelf life at the expense of nutrition. They use raw apples. They allow fermentation to unfold naturally, and the result is a tangy, living liquid packed with the mother, enzymes, and active cultures. That's why Bragg's vinegar costs more. It takes time, it takes patience. You can't rush nature and expect quality, and Bragg knows that. They aren't making vinegar for the cleaning aisle. They're making it for people who understand the value of tradition and trust what their bodies tell them. Fairchild's is another standout. It's a smaller operation, but that's their strength. They source organic apples from American farms. They press them fresh. They ferment slowly. They don't cut corners. And they absolutely do not pasteurize away the natural qualities of the vinegar. When you open a bottle of Fairchild's, you smell the difference. There's a depth of aroma that sterile vinegar just can't match. It smells like real fruit. It smells alive. And when you taste it, there's a gentleness layered over the acidity that speaks to quality, patience, and care. Fairchild's doesn't hide behind branding tricks. They let the product speak. You can see the mother right in the bottle. Cloudy, swirling, and proud. That's not dirt. That's not a defect. That's proof. Proof that what you're holding was made the way nature intended. It all comes down to this. You get what you pay for. Cheap vinegar isn't just cheap because it's sold in bulk. It's cheap because it's made cheaply. The apples are often imported as concentrate. The fermentation is rushed. The final product is filtered and pasteurized to death. There's no soul in it, no health benefit, just sterile acid that's been engineered to last forever on a shelf. But real vinegar, the kind that Bragg and Fairchild's make, costs more because it delivers more enzymes, more probiotics, more complexities, more integrity. And yes, you'll pay a few extra dollars for it. But what are you paying for with the cheap stuff? A brand name, a fake sense of purity, because it's clear, a bottle that will last 5 years but do nothing for your body. We've been conditioned to value convenience over quality, to choose aesthetics over substance. But food isn't just about appearance, it's about intention, it's about how it's made, who made it, and what values that process reflects. When you choose Bragg or Fairchild's, you're making a statement. You're saying no to sterile, lifeless food. You're saying no to empty marketing. You're saying no to cost cutting at the expense of quality. And you're saying yes to patience, yes to transparency, yes to health. So don't be fooled by the label, don't be fooled by the price, and absolutely don't be fooled by how clean the liquid looks in the bottle. That clarity is a red flag, not a feature. Apple cider vinegar is supposed to be a lump. It's supposed to be a lump. It's supposed to be cloudy. It's supposed to work. If you've been using one of those 5 dead brands, Heinz, Great Value, Kroger, American Garden, or White House, it's time to upgrade. Switch to something real. Your gut will notice. Your body will thank you. And the next time someone tells you that they don't feel any different after using ACV, ask them what brand they're using. The answer might explain everything. Here's the bottom line. No one's telling you not all vinegar
is created equal.
And frankly, most of what's on the shelves isn't even worth calling
Apple cider vinegar.
The industrial food system has taken one of nature's simple, most effective remedies and butchered it. Why? Because real fermentation takes time. Time isn't profitable. Traditional processes don't scale well. And corporations, they don't care about tradition. They care about volume. They care about shelf stability. They care about making a product that can sit on a store rack for years without a single bacterial cell daring to live in it. And in doing that, they've destroyed the very thing that gives apple cider vinegar
its power.
Go back to what ACV is supposed to be. It starts with apples, real apples. They get crushed, pressed, and left to ferment naturally. That fermentation creates alcohol. Then slowly, over weeks, the alcohol transforms into acetic acid as oxygen and time do their work. And during that second fermentation, that's when the mother forms. That cloudy mass floating in the vinegar. That's not something to be filtered out. That is the mess. It's a natural web of proteins, enzymes, and probiotics. It's the living indicator that what you're holding in your hand was made with respect, not rushed in a steel tank and doused in chemical.
So when a company filters it out,
when they pasteurize it, boil it, sterilize it, they're killing the very life you came for. They're turning a living natural tonic into
flavored water.
Safe? Sure.
Functional?
Barely beneficial, not even close. And let's not sugarcoat the consequences. When you take this fake vinegar every day, hoping to support your digestion, or help your blood sugar, or soothe your joints, you're not getting the real stuff. You're taking a harsh, lifeless acid, and for people with sensitive systems, especially older adults, that's a problem. These sterile vinegars can irritate the stomach, cause reflux, and stress your body instead of supporting it. That's the dirty little secret. While the public is busy drinking what they think is apple cider vinegar, they're swallowing a processed product with no live nutrients, no beneficial bacteria, and no connection to its natural origins. It's vinegar in name only. And again, it's not just about health, it's about values. What kind of food system do you want to support? One that cuts corners, one that lies by omission, one that prioritizes appearance and price over process and integrity, or one that respects tradition, one that values the wisdom of fermentation, the rhythm of nature, and the importance of keeping food close to its original form. That's what you support when you choose a brand like Bragg or Fairchild's. You're not just buying vinegar, you're buying into a philosophy, one that says quality matters, one that understands food should nourish, not just taste good, one that believes slow and rare is better than fast and fake. And yes, this choice matters, because food isn't neutral. Every purchase is a vote. Every bottle you bring home sends a message about what you're willing to accept and what you don't accept. Vinegar that's been filtered into emptiness. Don't accept pasteurization disguised as purity. And don't accept the label that says with the mother when the bottle is crystal clear. That's marketing. Next time you reach for apple cider vinegar, stop and look. Is it cloudy? Does it say raw, unfiltered, with the mother, and actually mean it? If not, put it back. You deserve better. If this hit home, give it a like. Share it with someone who still thinks all vinegar was. Thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you've experienced. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're not done exposing the lies behind your labels, and this is just the beginning.